So this is going to be a bit of a 2024 setup update. I realize I haven't actually done one of these this year, and I have stripped back things here quite a bit. Most of all, I actually just need to talk about this monitor a little bit more. I know I've done a full review of this thing. It's the 32GS95UE from LG. But yeah, the more I've been daily driving this thing, the more I just really enjoy it. And to be honest, it has transformed my entire setup. And of course, there are no sponsors on this video or other videos for that matter. LG aren't paying me to talk about this monitor. I don't even think there are affiliate links for this monitor, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, this is the perfect monitor for my workflow. I honestly think this is the one that's going to be on my desk for a very long time. Now, I didn't mention this in the full review of this monitor, although a few of you did end up pointing it out, but I think LG are the only monitor brand doing a full edge-to-edge, like bezel-less display like this. Like, of course, there are thin black borders across every side, but it doesn't have like a thick chin bezel, which every monitor nowadays seems to have, and it doesn't have any obvious gamer branding. Another thing I missed in that initial video were the speakers on this monitor. Now, monitor speakers, most of them are completely unusable if they even have speakers to begin with, and to be honest, I was so focused on the 480Hz mode on this monitor that I didn't even really bother testing them out. But I've got to say, the speakers on this monitor are really good, and honestly, I've been using them every day. I still edit and game with IEMs, but yeah, during the day, I'm pretty much just always using these built-in speakers. Also pretty cool, the sound is actually coming through the screen too, so it actually sounds like it's properly directed at you. LG are calling this pixel sound. I think a few TVs here and there have done the same thing, but yeah, it does actually make quite a big difference. Now, my previous monitor for editing was the LG 27GN950. It was a 4K 27-inch IPS, and I used that monitor at 125% Windows scaling. I tried using 100% scaling a couple of times because it would have given me a larger editing workspace and more timeline layers, but the text was just way too small. On these new 32-inch OLEDs though, I can comfortably use 100% Windows scaling, both this and the Asus as well, which I've already reviewed. And the big difference there is that when it comes to professional software, you just have a much nicer workspace. All of these panels on the side, they shrink right down. You have a larger viewport. When it comes to video editing, you can see way more timeline layers. It just feels a lot more productive. And this is one of the main reasons why I've swapped back to a single monitor. I just feel like at 32 inches with 100% Windows scaling, I don't really feel like I get any additional benefit from having a second monitor in terms of productivity. I'll also say, you know, I am someone who gets distracted very easily. I'm not someone who can have Netflix or a stream on that second monitor. For me, I just find that it completely tanks my productivity. These days, I just really want to lock in and get completely lost in the work that I'm doing. I feel like that's when my focus and productivity is truly the best. Also, I guess we should talk about the main thing about this monitor, which is the 480Hz mode. You can activate it with this little button here. For me, it means that I no longer need to swap to a faster esports display whenever I want to play some more competitive games, which is something that I was doing for quite a while. These days though, I mean, I just press this button if I want to play some Overwatch. The convenience and speed of it is just insane. I'm not going to talk too much about it because the review of this thing was pretty much all I talked about and tested. But yeah, if you're in the same boat as me where you need a production display and an esports display, then this thing is honestly perfect. Now, quick look at the other stuff that I have on the desk. I am still using IEMs for headphones, still a really big fan of IEMs. The cable for my IE300s recently broke, which yeah, I'm pretty mad about, but a lot of people have been having that issue. Finally, it hit me as well, so I'm waiting for a replacement cable for those. In the meantime, I've actually been using the Truth-Ear Critical Zeros. Bought these a while back, didn't really think that they were an upgrade from the IE300s, but yeah, for 50 bucks, I don't know if you can buy a better IEM than this. They are extremely good for that price, and I will say for gaming, they are, you know, maybe better than the IE300s. The soundstage in particular is really clear cut on these, like the directionality is just purely obvious. They are a lot more bulky than the IE300s though. The bass is also not as impressive, and they also come with white ear tips, which is super weird. They get, really dirty really quickly. But yeah, overall for 50 bucks, easy recommendation. We'll definitely link these down below. Keyboard is not something that I can talk about too much. It is of course still the Wooting 60, but it is in a custom case now, which I think looks absolutely awesome. This will be releasing soon. I'll be making a video about it, so yeah, stay tuned for that. And then for the mice, we've got the Zeromouse V35, which I'll be making a new batch of soon. This thing is also almost ready. Just a couple more things to do there. And then for my everyday work stuff, I've been using the Viper V3 Pro. First time I've been using a Razer mouse for kind of productivity stuff. It's super overkill for what I use it for. This is definitely like a top tier gaming mouse. And if you want to hear my thoughts on this versus the Superlight, you can check out my last video. And then the PC, of course, my pride and joy, the liquid cooled 4090 and 7800X 3D inside the Form T1. This thing has been absolutely bulletproof. I forget it's under there if I'm being completely honest. It just handles everything I throw at it. For those of you who aren't familiar with this build, I know we've got a lot of new subscribers. I've actually done a few episodes gradually building this up. So yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, I'll link those videos down below. But yeah, it's by far the most custom work that I've done for any build. And then still really enjoy using glass mouse pads as well. This is the new SkyPad 4, which I would say is the best hard pad that I've used. I was using the Pulsar Superglide for a very long time, and this is a nice upgrade over that. It's a little bit quieter, a little bit smoother, and it doesn't wear down my mouse skates as much either. Not something I'd recommend if you play like Valorant or CS, like hard pads in general are just not a good choice there. But for arena shooters, which is what I normally play, like Overwatch, they are super nice. But that is pretty much gonna do it. Really happy with how this setup has been feeling. This LG OLED, yeah, I can't praise this thing enough. It's basically the perfect monitor for what I do. If you're interested in any of this stuff as well, I'll have it linked down below. As always, huge thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.